I am Plushie, and in this series I will be talking about, showcasing, and giving some tips and tricks on my favorite deck and showing off my replays, how I play, what thought process I use while I play, to give you an insight of how I use and build my favorite decks. In these episodes, you're going to see me showcasing my life twin. So strap in, enjoy some games, and let's have some fun. So, welcome in. This is basically the life twin list that I have been running. It has changed a bit. Like, it's really hard to stay on a specific list when it comes to life twin because in a deck that is so heavy and so focused around the non-engine in the hand traps, it is really hard to just stay on one. We've been moving around the Valor count, the Imperm count, the Bell count, the Lancia count, the Nib count. Basically all over the place depending what we've been facing most. If it's Malice, if it's Mitsurugi, if it's Rysil. Stuff like Ash and the Cowboys and the Drolls are pretty good. Droll is really nice because we are a deck that can self-droll against the Maxis and the Fuvas. But Ghostbell has really been a nice pickup into decks like Mitsurugi. You can stop basically almost all their cards. Really MVP here. Lancia feels very necessary because it's not only Malice right now, but also Orcus running around. So stopping them is really important. X-Ray has for most stayed the same. I did run Underworld Goddess, but there's really not any tower decks that you actually have to worry about in the meta. So this extra deck has just done the job for me. I haven't felt like I was missing something, and I don't really want to cut anything from here either. They all have their use cases here. And for the engine count, it's basically the same. It's the twins. I like the two Kissicles because I like searching her, not drawing her. These two are mandatory, sadly. I am playing 3-tracked because this deck is basically just without the support, and even to an extent with the support, it is kind of just combo Fiendsmith control. So getting into the Fiendsmith cards is really important, and just having another extender to get there is quite nice. That's better than breaking on live twin names. But yeah, basically been the list. But let's head into the games and talk about them. So I have 4 games for you today. These first 2 are gonna be more examples of how strong our Ember can be, and you know what they can play through and how resilient it is. While the other 2 are gonna be showing off some nifty lines and ways to find lethal, or just play through hand traps that might not come up that often, but I think is good to know. So we can check out the first one here. We're gonna be going first into Malice here. So we're gonna start with a Kissicule, instantly Maxi, but we can meet that with an Ash, meaning we do get to play here. So we're gonna go into the pink one. Pink will reborn the small blue, go into the blue one and grab the Link 2 back from the grave. She's gonna draw us, and she drew a live twin, which kind of feels bad, because we rather want a hand trap or a Fiendsmith Extender. But thanks to the above line here, it is just 3 discard feathers, so we're gonna discard it, reborn the same one, and now we're gonna get Frost, which will allow us to draw a card on our opponent's turn. We're gonna go Moon into Requiem, can use Kissicule as well, and I'm gonna go Lacrima, dump the Engraver, send them off for Necroquip with the equipped Requiem. Now we're gonna reborn the Engraver and make a Caesar with a set callby. They're gonna go Dormouse, scary normal summon. Then they're gonna call by our Veil on it. They have a Maxi from we're gonna reborn. And I absolutely cannot let them have a card. Even though Callby can be a good disruption, I just can absolutely not let them have any extra cards. We're gonna go Marcher, we're gonna go Requiem here. Also send off our Ghost Dogger because it's not really that good against Malice here. And I'm not planning to let them get very far. Lacrima's gonna dump the Fiendsmith in Paradise. They're gonna Marcher, Caesar's gonna kill the Marcher. They're gonna go Mirror, we can't stop this in any way. So we're gonna add another Marcher, Dormouse will get there, but we get to draw a card. That's gonna be another effect filler. But here they're gonna go SP, we can't really do anything to save our Caesar because SP will just Shane. Just gonna lose a card here in main 2. I'm just gonna summon out to pop quote unquote SP. This is gonna banish, but Kizikil will draw us a card and also get another body on the board now that it's cleared. And now oppo's gonna draw. We're gonna link it to sequence here. We're gonna go Lila, reborn the Kizikil, shuffle back the Trouble Sunny so we can remake her for more damage. We're gonna go Requiem. Send it off, that's okay, they can go the sequence, we're just gonna pop her because we have the cards to spare. And it's here that I noticed they have a nib, because otherwise they will be scooping, so us have to threaten lethal, we're gonna do that so they have to nib us. Now we can go tracked, Larry here. And this is not really gonna get us super far, sadly, we don't really have a lot to do here. We can still shuffle for our Fiend's cards, go Larkma, dump an extra engraver, so we have like the full setup for next turn. And then you're gonna go drill into Almirage. And that's the Marcher. And if this Dormouse resolves, we're dead. So we're just gonna go to Paradise, so we can send the engraver here. As soon as Dormouse hits the board. Not letting her activate, we'll put her in the grave. You're gonna go Splash Mage here to try and revive, which our Imperm will check. Bye bye. You're gonna go Haggard here. Which is going to let them banish the Marcher to add it back to hand. To try and, you know, beat the battle phase for next turn. By putting up 2 defense position bodies with the Dormouse that they have engraved. So we gotta play around that and put up more than enough damage on the board. Which luckily we can do. Engraver can send the Haggard. We can go Link here with the Sequence. Sequence is gonna shuffle back our materials to make the Larkma. Larkma here can wonderful synergy of these decks. We want to Kizikil effect will get back the Lila. And now that she's gonna into Agnum Day, we can reborn her with blue. Lila is gonna make Trouble Sunny. And this is more than enough damage on the board. With a pop, they just give up. And that is the game. Live Twin versus Malice. This second game here is going to be us going first again. And showing up just how strong this endboard can be. With a nifty little combo there. And how it can stand up to even strong hands from Rysil. So, let's check it out. We're gonna normal summon the Lila here. You're gonna Ash it. Luckily, we do have the Sunny Snitch here to grab us the Frost, which, God, we're happy about putting it in the grave. Kizikil's gonna reborn here. We're gonna go into Lila here. Bring out the Kizikil, she's gonna drop. That's the Larry, and now this is where the combo gets fun. We're gonna go Trouble Sunny, bring back our links. They're gonna go into Abao here. Abao's gonna pitch the Larry. And here we don't even need the live twin names. So we're just gonna go directly into Trouble Sunny. Larry will resummon from that pitch. Going to Larkma. Engraver, now we can equip into equip. Do that. Engraver reborns. And it's basically the same thing as usual. But here Abao actually comes back while we have Trouble Sunny on board. Meaning we just get to like get an extra pop from that Abao. So they're gonna call Bar Maxi, only fair right. We're gonna go 7th Tachyon for the Ext. And we're gonna make sure we draw a card. It's an Ash Blossom, quite a nice card. You're gonna go X and Aggregator. Aggregator is gonna get rid of the Caesar. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna use everything. We're gonna negate the Ext, resummon our twins to pop him, as well as go Larkma to dump the Paradise. Basically checking all that this X can do. Now they're gonna summon out the sword. We're just gonna negate it, not let them get a search. And they do have the ice in hand. But we can Ash the effect, and now we can use this Abao Cow, which came in important, and pop it to stop them from getting a rank 4. So it actually did come up clutch that we had the Larry in hand and was able to start with the Trouble Sunny. Because otherwise they would have been able to play there. So this is gonna be a game which isn't as much of a cool game where we showcase this combo, but I'm gonna showcase a nifty way to get into lethal here from going second. I'm gonna make a mistake. I'm gonna go Ghost Ogre before I read Sanctuary, so I'm just gonna go Maxi to be sure. But that does make them pop the Ash Blossom because they do need to protect. So they're just gonna end on a Ponix there without a whole lot. We're gonna go Live Twin Kizikil and go into the Link. They're gonna Skyburner it, which really surprised me because I don't think they're too familiar with the deck. Because now we can just reborn the small blue and get Frost and go into Evil Twin Lila. Gonna reborn them here. And now we're gonna make Requiem. Requiem is gonna go into the Fiendsmith, and this is just to make sure we get into Fiendsmith here. Now we can use this to go into sequence, and they do have the impulse here to stop us. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do Engraver to get the track. Track is going to add Larry. We send off the Larry here. Now Larry's gonna reborn. We get to go into the Aghanim Day. Now Engraver's gonna send back the Larry, reborn here, equip, and it doesn't look like lethal, but thanks to the extra Engraver reborn there and us having the bodies to make Aghanim Day, we're gonna get enough damage limit 200. We're gonna go into Lacrima. Lacrima can reborn one. We're gonna go into the moon, and Lacrima is gonna spell the end of the game here. Bada boom. Not the simplest line to see, and I think just keep in mind to play your games like this and look for lethal lines, even through like impulses stuff on sequence, is quite important. So, this is also going to be a game where I showcase a nifty line. Basically to show you, even though you have hand traps, as long as you have like an extender or two, do not fret, we can do some really cool lines. It does require the correct hands, but we can do some really cool stuff with this deck. So we're gonna start with the Kill, grab the blue. Then we're gonna go into the Evil Twin Kill. They have an orange light here, which is just gonna stop our entire lifetime combo. Luckily we have the Engrave, but they have Ash Blossom, so we can't actually go into the sequence. But Engraver can shuffle back the Kill here to go into the Requiem. And now we're gonna go into Lacrima. What Lacrima can do is dump the track we didn't get to search earlier. Track can fuse the Larry in hand with the Lacrima, and then reborn, go into Caesar with the Imperm. And considering we played through 2 hand traps, it's gonna let them share and then say out of Maxi, they hit the Nepe, we're just gonna negate that reborn, and we took care of it. So even for 2 hand traps, any deck that really doesn't even beat 1, by using the Lacrima to dump the track there, we can actually unlock like half the end board, which was more than enough to take care of this game. Thank you all so much for watching. I have hoped you enjoyed this episode. I was liking this deck. It really is rough. It's rough right now. If you're playing this or want to play it, I will warn you, there will be so many games where you just lose to a Fuva, lose to an Imperm, lose to a Maxi, lose to an Ash Blossom, lose to an Impulse. You get the deal. It is rough, but if you're well experienced, these games that you do have a chance in, you can really just steamroll some people. So while it is tough and I wouldn't, recommend playing it until we get the support, you can still do cool stuff with the deck, and it will forever always be my favorite deck. Until next one, bye.